Okay, we're live on StreamYard. And come on, and we're live on YouTube. So there we go. Anyway, welcome to Rick's Life as I See It. Here on Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. And, I'm just waiting for people to show up. So I'm just waffling on here. If anybody's wondering what I'm doing, the camera angle might be slightly different. I'm not sure because I moved a bunch of stuff around the other day, and the camera got moved, knocked over actually, because it's on a little tiny camera that should actually go on top of the the monitor, but I got it on a tripod, and anyway, I was back in the corner there because last time I was here, what was it, 2 weeks ago? I was talking about, starting picking up my old hobby of mine, model railroading. And so I decided I moved everything off of this table, moved it out of the way, my desk here, for I could get back here. Then I started moving stuff and I was piling it over here and I blocked myself in. I couldn't get out. So I had to go through it all to make room for me to get out. And I've got all my model stuff on this side of the room now. So it's closer to the door for when I finally do get started on it. And I was going through a bunch of it, and I forgot half of that stuff I got in there. I thought, Jesus, I don't remember that. I've even got one train that's in pieces. I remember now when I found it. I'm thinking, why is that in that box all in pieces? Was because it broke and I ordered new parts for it and was starting to put it together. Then I moved to my new place and I was setting up the track and stuff before I took that down and put it away because of the cats. And I never got to fixing it. Problem is, I don't remember exactly what was wrong with it. So that's going to be a good project to work on. You know, I got a goddamn little train with big fat fingers, so it ought to be fun. So, sir, I'm just waiting for people to come in, so I'm just talking about what I plan on doing. But overall, though, that's it. Oh, I'll talk about it here in a minute when we get going. Anyway, let me introduce my panelists because we got a few people in the chat room now. We've got the one and only New York Outcast. How you doing?
Doing all right. Trying to stay dry. It's been raining like crazy today and busy day. So between work, trying to hit DMV, run around trying to get paid. It's been a heck of a day, but I even had to basically bring that up, get registration done.
That's a bitch going there, I tell you.
Yeah, the back and forth, and then trying to rush right after work, and it's been something. So glad I'm finally back and able to relax for a minute.
That's good. That's good. So, have you eaten yet?
No, behind the ball. I believe that'll probably be before the show's over. But,
Okay, all right. I'm throwing some burgers on after the show. That's all. It don't take long to throw them on the grill. So
well,
that's what I'm going to do. And
I think we're doing burgers and salad too. I'm not 100%.
We're having the French fries. I'm going all out. Cooked in an air fryer, so they are slightly better for you. Anyway, let's have a look here. First in the chat here today was Gun Hobo, then Woods, then Gizzard Gary, and then we got the lurkers. About it so far. Slow. The summer's not over yet, so people are still doing their stuff. And I mean, what time is it? 7:00, and it's still warm here. I mean, the temperature was a bit lower today. It did low, but it's 76 degrees here right now, and but it's got so. But let's have a look. Yeah, humidity is still there, but the actual temperature is lower. But it's sunny right now. The sun's shining at 7:00, so you can't complain about that. So there we go. So people are doing stuff. I totally understand that this time of year, But anyway,
summer's wrapping up, so days are already getting shorter. I hate to sound like Rick here, but it's fairly obvious. Days are shortening up. It's been a bitch for me with work, so trying to
I didn't want to mention that.
Earlier. Yeah, and obviously weather's getting a little sketchy. We go from hot to 60 degrees to hot back to 60 and rain, so that's typical here in my area. So we get a couple months of actual summer, and then you got a few months of in between, and then a shitload of cold. So yeah, how it goes.
Oh yeah, but where's I mean, I know technically that I always say I'm in southern Indiana, which I am. That's what it's known as. I'm right down the bottom of if you're looking at a map, I'm right down the bottom of the state. As I've said before, Kentucky is only an hour's drive that way. And so, it's warmer here than it was when I was living up in Connecticut and Rhode Island. I know that much. And normally the winters are a little milder than what I'm used to. So overall, I mean, this kind of temperature, what it is right now, I could live like that all year round, really. But the problem is, to get this kind of thing all year round, you got to move to Hawaii, and I can't afford to live there. So I do the best I can. So there we go. And I know I was talking to my brother today. He uses WhatsApp. Is that what it's called? Yeah, WhatsApp. And because he lives in, don't shoot the messenger now, but he lives in Russia. My brother, he lives in St. Petersburg. He has a Russian wife, and so he lives over there, and he's talking to me today. How he's been at the doctors or something, having tests done on his heart and all this kind of stuff. I said he's about 18 months older than I am. I said, well, you're getting up there, So I said, don't. I said, look at the bright side. You're still alive. So, but he was going. He wasn't really going on about much. Then I don't know. I guess he had nobody else to talk to today. Yeah, but he was asking me. What was it? He was asking me about whether I have applied for my British retirement. There, that the British government gives everybody. Well, you've got to work for at least 10 years. And but it ain't much. And so I was looking into it this afternoon. I was online and on the British government site. Oh my God, you think the US government's bad? Jesus Christ. I found the section I needed. It was claiming your pension living overseas. That was the section. So that's the one. So I clicked on it, and it says I can have it, and I could have started drawing it in 2023 when I turned 66. Yeah, I think that's what it said. Anyway, I could have started drawing it then, but I didn't. Anyway, so it says click here, so I clicked there, and it asked for my name, and it asked for my national insurance number. That's how, they work out your pension over there. It's sort of like, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's a Social Security number because they don't use it for anything else, basically, except for your pension. But as it happens, they issue you like a Social Security card with that number on it. I've had mine for almost 50 years, and I still got it. It's all broken, and I've got it taped because it's falling to pieces. So I put all the pieces on a piece of tape and taped it, and where I can. Anyway, I have the number, so I punch the number in. It says we got to verify who you are. Well, you got my number. That's but hey, Rob could have got hold of my number, and he's trying to claim my money. So anyway, then they say they need, you got to have to claim it, you got to prove who you are. You got to have a British or a UK passport or international passport. Well, I don't know. I never claimed a UK passport ever in my life, but I got international. I got an American passport. Well, that'll work. Then it says either a driving license. I've got actually believe it's actually ran out because you had to renew it when you turned 65. But I've actually got a UK driving license, or had one. And but that don't count because they want the ones now that have, like the American one has your photo on it. Back in the day when I was issued mine, it was just a big piece of paper about this long, about this wide, and you just folded it up and put it in your wallet, so if it was still in date, it wouldn't have done any good anyway. Then, of course, everybody because it's it was part of the European Union. It's not anymore, but they still do it. But either if you had a card to travel around and work in a different country and all this kind of stuff. And the last thing was sort of like your credit reference. I thought, what do you mean by credit reference? I haven't lived there for goddamn, I don't know how many years. I ain't got no credit over there. So anyway, I checked. So I checked passport. I can give them that. And the other one, there was another one that I checked. I can't remember what it was. It was something to do that I could answer. Anyway, so I checked because you had to check two of them. And the other one was, I can't remember what the hell it was now. It wasn't that major. But anyway, I checked the first question up was put your passport number in. So I got my passport here and I typed in the number and it says, don't recognize that. That's not a UK passport. But you said I could use international one, but there's nowhere on the form that you can put the international number in there or the American passport number in there. So they don't want me to have it. I tried. I went back and read the rules again, and it took me back to the same page. And every time it said that you can't use that, you can't use it. And of course, the time zone, so I couldn't call anybody. So I said I was just giving myself a headache. So I just closed down the tab. I didn't even sign out. I just closed down the tab and said, screw you. So that was my afternoon.
Did you contact somebody by email?
Nope, there was no email address.
Okay, all right, yeah, because
I did
things
look.
Will have that option, yeah.
I was just giving you the short version of what happened.
Yeah.
I will try again tomorrow. And I'll call them earlier while they're still there, because I think it's a 5 or 6 hour difference. So and of course, being the government thing, they're not going to work past 4 in the afternoon their time.
Right.
So
4 in the afternoon, huh?
Yeah, about that.
They close down early.
Yeah, well, they might be there, but they ain't working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, early by our standards.
Yeah. So I will try. I mean, be honest with you, I think last time I found some website years ago that I could. It wasn't an official government site. It was some site that I could go to and give you a rough idea how much you're going to get. It's because you got to remember, I left there almost 30 years ago now, and I only worked from early 70s to the early 80s. I think I just barely made the 10 years. Barely. According to my calculation. Hell, I might not even qualify. I might not even made it. But according to my calculations, I made the 10 years. See, but even though I lived there until 93, I think it was, from early 80s, from about 82, 83, I think, I was working for the U.S. government over there. So, But anyway, where I was going with this is I would only get something like how they used to pay weekly too. You'd go to the local post office with your book, and they would rip out a page and give you the money. That's how it used to be when I was a kid living over there. But I would only get about maybe 70 to 80. I worked it out. It'd be roughly only about $100 a week because I didn't work that long. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's $400 a month. So there we go. But anyway, that's what I've been working on. So, but I feel kind of guilty by doing it because, as you know, I've never actually claimed to be, even though I do have a British birth certificate, and I was born there and I lived there for years and years. I've never claimed myself as being an English person.
That's not the point. I mean, they got the policy. You put your time in. You still got a slight accent. You refuse to eat mac and cheese. You put gravy and steak sauce on everything. I think it qualifies.
Yeah, I do eat a lot of English food. I drink hot tea all the time.
Literally, when you said the eat mac and cheese thing, that was literally the thing that was going to come out of my mouth if you didn't say it right when you said it.
Oh God, mac and cheese. Ugh. Ugh.
They
It's just
should
like-
pay
I
because
can't
you're
remember.
annoying us.
I can't
Go ahead.
remember who sent it to me, but I still got my box that somebody sent me. One of you guys. I can't remember who sent it to me, but I still got it sitting right here on my bookshelf.
Probably Squibload.
Right.
Put it on a credit card.
Yeah. So, that's it. Oh, I tell you what did come in. My ammo. You remember that with the ammo squared that I paid
Yep.
so
Nice.
much a month? Yeah, finally came. I got 13 boxes. All tow. Here's my invoice. Okay. I got 4 boxes of 308 Winchester PMC bronze 147 full metal jacket boat tail. 4 boxes of 7.62 NATO PMC X-Tac 147 grains full metal jacket. So that's 8 boxes of 308s I got. I got that just for practice. That's why they're full metal jacket, because they're just for shooting at targets. I got 2 boxes of 5.56 NATO Federal hollow point ammo. You know, I thought, well, hell, if I ever needed self-defense, I got self-defense ammo. Okay. Then I got 1 box of 380. I've never heard of this company, Fort Scott ammunition.
Munitions. Yeah.
What? You've
Yeah.
heard of them?
Yeah. Fort Scott Munitions.
That's
Yep.
it. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, 95 grain. Then I got 1 box of 380 Hornady Critical Defense 90 grain FTX, but that's a 25 count box. Then my last one was 1 box of 357 Magnum double tap. 100 was that 180 grain? Yeah. So that was $250.
Now with that double tap,
The what?
with that double tap, does that mean when you shoot a target, like if you hit the bullseye, a second round
brand name.
automatically hits it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, this invoice doesn't have the prices I paid, but it came to $250. I know that much. Free shipping. $250 and over is free shipping. So, yeah. If anybody wants to sign up, let me know. Because if you go through my link, I get $50. Yeah, worth a shot. But yeah, so what happens now is actually I left because when you work it out, I went all the full boxes, and I was left with all that's in my basket right now. There is 2 rounds of I think it's 2 rounds of I think it's 380 are sitting there in my basket. You know, I could have added another 18 to it to get a full box of 20, but I thought, hell, I'm at $250. Why spend any of my money? I'll just let it sit there. You know. Then what happens is next month when they take out their payment, I start counting it all again until I get to 250. You know, and I'm only doing $25 a month, so it takes a while to get up to 250 because you can skip a month here, skip a month there. You know, if you need the $25 for something else. You know, Plus, they carry a bunch of different ammo. They're even carrying they're even carrying 410 shells for my lever action I haven't bought yet. I'm thinking adding that onto my list when I go back in there next month to sort it all out. Drop something off. No, or I can leave it on there. It don't matter. Whatever you do, it's based on, you do it by percentage. As long as it comes out to 100%, the more you got, the less bullets you're going to get for each size, caliber you're asking for. I said, I got 4 calibers. Got the 308, the 5.56, the 357, and the 380. I will more than likely take off the 5.56 and put in the 410 in its place, I think. And so I'll have plenty for when I do get my lever action 410. But right now, what made it to the top of my list, because my buddy who I go shooting at, he got one without, I was the one that told him about it, and he went and got one and didn't say a word to me. He just, showed off with it yesterday. He got the 22 conversion kit to put in the 5.56 to turn it into a 22 for practice, where you just drop in the boat carrier group. And he got it from CMMG 22 with three 25 round mags, $148. So,
All right. So you learned your lesson, right?
No, about selling my 22.
No, not that lesson. The lesson about telling that friend the stuff you got your eye on. Because, he probably didn't have any interest. He just knew you would be impressed. So he was like, well, fuck, I'm going to go buy one.
Yes, that's what he did.
Over it. Yeah. So next time, don't say shit. Tell him you're looking at that little pink burst of thunder down there, and let him buy that. And then you can just laugh at him when he pulls that out.
Yeah, but I'm still going to get one of those conversion kits because that's what I wanted. But I wasn't expecting him to buy one, so I was in no rush to get one, But that's my next purchase on the firearm front. So, that's what I'm going with. And hang on. Oh, my busted. That's why I'm sitting so low, because my seat's busted. Now, the question is, I need a new chair, and I want the 22 conversion kit. And of course, priority is the 22 conversion kit. This chair still works. Yeah, I'm sitting way down low, but it's still somewhere to sit, isn't it? Better than standing. So, but I need the conversion kit more than I need a new chair, is the way I look at it. Anyway, so
I got a suggestion, Rick.
Do what?
I got a suggestion.
Yes.
It's in regarding your extra potential $400 a month.
Yeah.
If possible, I recommend you don't tell anybody, like people that live in your house, about that. Maybe it's too late, but it's something to keep close to the vest.
Yeah.
And say throw 200 into your normal finances, throw the other 200 into some type of savings, something where you're not touching it and just transferring it back out, because at this point you're surviving without it. I know shit's more expensive, but it's like it's not free money, but in a way it's free money. So
yeah,
take 50% of it, add quality or whatever to your lifestyle, throw that other for 50%, pretend you don't even have it, And then if something comes up with the van or the truck or whatever the hell the case is, or you want to go to Hawaii in a couple years, you got some damn money. But the whole point is you got to, in your mind, you never see it. You don't even know it's there. You don't touch it. You know it's
Yeah.
there, but you can't touch it. You know what I mean? Because if it's $200 a month, you can start saving a little bit of cash. I mean, that's, $2,400 a year. So a couple years of that, and you might be on your way to Hawaii or something. Well, maybe more than a couple, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You can actually build up to something maybe a little bigger that you want to do in the future. So, and it won't cost you anything at this point, really. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's free money in the bank. So just something to think about. You know what I mean? Put it in your
Yeah, so
mind.
I gotta get
I know
past,
you know yourself, but
yeah, I gotta get past that goddamn website that won't let me in.
Yeah. But if you do, that's just something to consider because you're still ahead, even that way. Look at it like you'll be ahead $200 a month. It's still ahead.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're right. So I'm working on that tomorrow, and I'll research that website to see if they do. I mean, they got a phone number, but I'll see if they got an email as well. Because to be honest with you, I know it's a long. I prefer emailing. That way, I got a record of what's being said by each of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sometimes for help or questions with certain programs or whatever, they'll offer that assistance by email or something. That way you can tell them the issue, they can respond hopefully and set you in the right direction.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Research that. If all else fails, I will call. But if I can get away without calling, I will. Anyway, so what you been up to, Guns and Barbecue? Anything?
Oh, same shit, different day. Nothing too exciting here. Had the time to jump in, saw that you were live. I was like, oh, well, I'll go jump into the show, see what's going on, see what is happening there. By the way, got my swag pack. Thank you very much.
No problem. Glad you got it. So,
I
got the quiz question going. I'll give it at the end of the show.
I was extremely fortunate to win against the hundreds of entries.
I know.
Had entered. Was not rigged at all. So cannot again stress just how fortunate I was. Thank you.
No problem. I'm glad you entered. So anyway.
By the way, folks, literally all I did was copy and paste directly from Google.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I do with the question and answer. I copy and paste it onto a note and save it on my computer here, a file. I mean, I've got years of questions and answers I've asked. I save it all on. I'm using actually Word. Well, not Microsoft Word. It's a free. Actually, I'm actually using Google Documents now. It's free, and I just save everything on there. I got pages and pages and pages of all the quizzes I've done. So I need to start. I mean, and sometimes when I'm really stumped for a question, I'll go back, 6 or 7 years and reuse a question I already asked once already. But there you go. I'm trying to think what else is happening. Oh yeah, I did. As I told you, I was going to get back into my old hobby of model railroading.
Nice.
Yes, I went and bought me I went and bought 3 books off of Amazon, to get me going, to give me, I'm all ready to get started. But the thing is, this room's not big enough, not with all my guns in here, and I ain't selling those, And,
so, what scale are you going to go with?
Oh, HO. That's what I've got.
That's what I thought.
I've had it. I don't know if you heard my story. I've been carrying. It's all packed up. I packed it away in 2007 or 8, and I've been moving around with it. It's all in these containers I got sitting in here. You can't see them; they're behind the thing here, behind the camera. And not only that, I looked the other day when I was moving it all. I even opened up the cupboard in here. Besides having some old clothes of mine that don't fit me anymore, that's the first time that cupboard's been opened in 6 years.
Nice.
But I got boxes and boxes of train stuff in there too. I mean, I've got enough to I could build a layout with what I got. You know. Yep. So that's what I'm going to start with. But the problem is, it's finding the room. I'm going to start off with this sort of like maybe just start off with the 4x8 piece of plywood. Make myself start off with that, and where I can expand it. But I got to reorganize the bedroom. Because right now, if I put it in there, you wouldn't be able to move around in there. So I got to sort of like move everything to give me a free space. And
most a 4x8, definitely,
you can put it, if you had to, you could shove it against the wall in the corner, and you're still able to reach over the 4 foot if to work on it and stuff. So that's my game plan for right now.
Nice. Yeah. Let's say I've got a ton of HO because, I collected that since I was, 15 or 16. Yeah. So I think it was about 15 or so. And oftentimes what I would try and do is find somebody that was just selling an entire collection, because man, you could find somebody selling a collection for like $100. And when I say a collection, it's not like, I've got, 10 boxcars and a couple locomotives. Like they would have 10 or 15 locomotives and, dozens of boxcars and tankers.
Oh yeah.
And you would be able to pick that up for $100. And it's like, heck, a couple of the locomotives are worth that price alone. So I'm pretty well stocked on the HOs, but since my vision loss, because the one thing that I really like to collect were Santa Fe locomotives, and box cars and tankers that had advertising. But with HO, the advertising so small, it's really hard for me to tell. Like the Santa Fe's are really easy to spot. Red and silver, blue and yellow, not too hard. But like I said, the advertising on HOs, it's just so small. I ended up having to switch over to O gauge, which I'm not complaining about, because whenever my mother kicks the bucket, which hopefully isn't anytime soon or anything, but that's what my grandfather collected, and my brother and sister have zero interest in my grandfather's trains, so I'll get his collection of trains when my mother passes. So I already have a large amount of O gauge coming my way anyways, on top of the O gauge that I've been collecting for the last probably 5 or 6 years.
Oh, okay. All right. So, but you need to start building. Just collecting.
I need the room.
Get started.
Honestly, it's fun to run them every once in a while, and the layouts are really cool, but I can't see myself being one of those guys. It's like, I'm going to go in this room and just run my trains around this giant layout that I built. I don't know. I can't. I don't get enjoyment out of them like that. Having them on display is more of a enjoyment for me. Just kind of there. Every once in a while, you could walk up to the case, really check them out. When people come over, it's something that can be a conversation piece. Like, oh wow, that's really cool. Or like for example, one of my mom's favorites cars that my grandfather had was the Lifesavers tanker from Lionel, which when my grandfather passed, one of my cousins had gotten, and my mother was beside herself for a lot of years because she really wanted that tanker, but she didn't get it. And I got it for her for Christmas one year. But like that Lifesavers tanker, really cool tanker. And one of my favorite tankers that my grandfather had was the Tootsie Roll tanker, which my cousin also got that one, which all the trains that my cousin had gotten mysteriously got stolen, but I digress. And actually a couple of years ago, I was up at the train show up in Erie, and I was with my mother, and I was like, she's like, what are you looking for? I was like, if you see Tootsie Roll tanker, let me know. She's like, okay. And she's like, hey, there's one. And one of the fun things still is the art of the haggle. And the guy had like $45 marked on it. And I was like, I'll give you 30. He's like, no way. And we do the dance, and he comes down to 40 as like 32. And he's like, 3 people have already looked at it today as like, yep, and I could be number 4 that walks away. I was like, I've got cash in hand. But I always love that Tootsie Roll tanker. And he's like 35. I was like, you selling the Hot Wheel cars behind you too? He's like, yep. I was like, you throw in that Mater truck for my kid and I'll do the 35. So I got the tanker and a little die cast Mater truck from Cars. So you get the enjoyment of the haggle, and again, that Tootsie Roll tanker, that's one of those pieces that when somebody comes in, they see that and it starts a conversation.
Yeah. I understand where you're coming from. I mean, but personally myself, I like the idea of building the layout.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you. Like,
doing the scenery and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
it looks so cool.
Where I could, where you got where you got your sidings where you can drop off tankers or box cars and
yep,
do all that kind of stuff. I enjoy doing that.
Yeah, no, like I said, it looks so cool, and like for a short amount of time I'd enjoy it, but then it would collect dust for a while. Then I would go back in, mess with it for a little bit, then it would probably collect dust for a while again. It would just be an endless cycle like that. But yeah, definitely not knocking anybody that where that's like their thing. Like I totally get it.
Yeah. But also, I mean, I got into it just before I put it all away. I was converting my my engines to that to the digital command for I could run the same different trains on the same track. And it doesn't, because normally when you do DC trains the way it always was done, you put 2 trains on the same track, they're going to run at the same speed, or they're going to slow them down because it's drawing so much voltage.
Yep.
Right? But with the DCC, you can have 2 trains on the same track heading towards each other if you wanted.
Yeah.
You're controlling the train, not the track.
Yep.
And I was getting into that before I took it all apart. So, that's more likely what I'll do again. So,
do you still fit in your conductor's uniform?
Do what?
Do you still fit into your conductor's uniform?
No, I got too big.
You're gonna have to order another one. You need a uniform, a hat.
Now I'll just put I'll pretend I'm the engineer. I'll wear my bib overalls.
All right, and you got the
Easy,
hat,
Rick.
right?
Easy. You need to save some pussy for everybody else.
You know.
Hey man, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, sorry about boring you there, everybody. Talking about
Rick's going to be like, hey, blow this train whistle.
Yeah. I mean,
you do that pretty good. Come to my house.
You know, going back on that, I've always liked trains. Anyway, I mean, like when there's a railroad just about a mile from me, and at nighttime, actually, I would say it's about 3 miles from me. But at nighttime, you can hear the whistle as they're going across the crossing down there. I love the sound of that. A freight train going down the track with the whistle blowing. It's, you know.
Oh yeah, that's one thing I miss about the old house that I was in back in 2019. Children's mother had to have it. And I was like, I like this place. And then she just went batshit crazy. But anyways, right behind.
Digressing again.
I know it's a terrible problem of mine. I'm gonna say right behind the house was the creek. So it was a beautiful view, but right behind the creek was the railroad, and freight trains would go through probably about 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah, that's about what they come through here. I mean, and this here is a part of Norfolk Southern. They got here. And,
yeah,
you get CSX on there as well. Same, So.
I cannot remember what we had rolling through.
Yeah. What you call it here also, I mean, kind of, but being here is kind of nostalgic because my father used to work on that before he went into the Air Force as a young kid. He used to work on that railroad, building it, So there you go.
You guys ever put like pennies and shit on the tracks?
Well, I've done that before. Yeah.
It doesn't do anything. They did it on Mythbusters.
Yeah, obviously it doesn't derail the train or anything like that, but yeah, it can. I've seen them smushed a little bit. That's about it. So
yeah, I mean, it don't do much.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time they're because of the speed the train's going and the wind that's blowing, and they normally knock them off before the wheels even get to them. But yeah. So there we go. Anyway, what were we talking about before we got into trains? Oh, yes. As I said, top of my list is the 22 conversion kit from CMMG. So that's what I'm getting next. Then is going to be the lever action 410. Where I was going to get a suppressor, since the government fucked us. I know, I mean, I don't know why I'm fussing over it. The government knows who I am. They know everything we have. So people are kidding themselves that they think they're staying secret from the government. I mean, the government, I work for the government, so they got my fingerprints already. Because I had to do that to become a federal employee, so. And, but it's just the thought of the principle. The only thing that's changed is you don't have to pay the $200, for the suppressor.
Yep.
But, you still got to do the fingerprints. You still got to register it. it's still a pain in the ass. It's just it's the principle of the thing. But did you see though? Talking about CMMG, they came out with their own brand of suppressors, and I think the most expensive one's only about $600. You know, they're around $500-$600 for a suppressor. You know, the brand is Zero, I think they call it. You know, and American made. So that's what when I get one, I might go with one of theirs. You know, because it's still to me. I mean, as suppressor goes, $500 is a pretty good price. You know, so
something to keep in mind. Pretty sure that tax isn't lifted until January.
Oh yeah. So
okay.
As I said, that's why it's not top of my list. Because if you wait the way they worded it, the son of a bitches, was it would be the next quarter after he signed it, right? Well, when he signed it on July 4th, that quarter started on July 1st. So you have to wait till that quarter was over, right? Which took it into October. Then October to January was the next quarter. So it's in January 1st is when it takes effect, motherfuckers. You know? So
tell us how you really feel, Rick.
Yeah. We got screwed on that, but there you go. What can you say?
Did we or didn't we?
We did.
But so I'm going to float this out there because I floated it to other people. What if it would have never passed with the registration portion taken, or not taken up, but added in? So then you still have the taxes as well.
Do what now?
So let's say that they fired the parliamentarian, said, we're going to do what we want. We're adding in the registration to this bill to remove the registration from these items. And then those 15 rhinos who turned their backs on us before voted against this bill and killed it. And then we never had the tax removed.
Yeah. You got a good point there. I mean, I wouldn't have put it past them. And the only reason it went like it was because of those rhinos. They more than likely said, okay, we'll give you the $200, but we're keeping the rest. You know?
It's a possibility. And that's why I say to folks, we might not have gotten as fucked as people think, because fine, like...
Okay, so they used a little bit of Vaseline when they shoved it up our ass, you know?
No, because now we're able to fight it in court because we've got an amazingly strong argument that the registration is unconstitutional, because the only reason for the registration is simply to keep track of the tax. That's the only way that they can justify it. And if there's no tax and the registration is entirely unconstitutional and should be thrown out. Now, going through the court system is going to take a couple of years. However, like I've been saying since this has been passed, immediately start calling your representatives. Say, hey, next reconciliation bill next year, you want the registration added to the reconciliation bill. If they're hearing from you for a year about this, guess what they're going to do? You're going to add that shit in, because they're going to be sick of hearing from you for a year about it.
Oh yeah. You're right. The pressure needs to stay on. And I mean, I already wrote to mine and told them how disappointed I was. I said, and I actually put it in words. I said, I sent them both emails, our two senators here. I said, if you want to get reelected when your term's up, I said, I got to really think about it the way you guys pulled this one off. I think both of my senators voted, they would have voted to get rid of it all, but I ain't going to give them the satisfaction. I'm just putting the pressure on, So I was very disappointed, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, and I say I don't want people thinking like, oh, Guns N' Barbecue is just happy with fucking infringement. Like, no, not that at all. I'm just thinking of it as a whole. Like, at the end of the day, we got a pretty awesome win here, and there's a very good chance we could have just not had anything. Think about it again. We had 15 supposed Republican senators turn their backs on us and support red flag laws.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. And
to my knowledge, and I could be wrong about this, but I only think a couple of those got voted out. And the reason I say I could be wrong about that is what I mean is none of them might have been voted out. I know, the one Brandon Herrera ran against, he almost got him voted out, but he was not successful.
Yeah.
So, how many others were gotten rid of?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think many, to be honest with you.
I don't think so either.
They're all still there.
And the thing is, with the makeup of the Senate and with the reconciliation bill, all you needed was a majority.
Yeah. And that's and that's why it would have been a good time to do that, because of the simple majority. Because, we don't, because of the filibuster, you need that 60 votes.
Yep.
To pass anything. And it doesn't matter if we said we're going to give everybody $1 million, you wouldn't get the goddamn senators to vote for it. The Democrats, or vote against it just out of goddamn fucking principle.
Well, the other thing is, where are all the people that were calling for the parliamentarian to be fired? Because I haven't heard shit about it now.
No. They didn't even have to fire her. They could have voted just overrid her. They don't have to. She's not.
Oh, yeah. 100%. They could have just
said, no, we're ignoring you. We're going to do it anyway.
The other thing was, they could have just thrown it back in the House and voted it through in the House. And at that point, the parliamentarian couldn't say anything about it, because the House, now the bill originates in the House. And the most you could say is, you guys should vote no on this because this is in here and blah, blah, blah. But again, everybody that was like, oh, fire her, where the hell are those cries now? Because at the time, I was saying, don't fire her right now. That is a terrible look for 2A. Yeah, makes it look like, oh, they're throwing a tantrum because they didn't get their way. And I'm like, no, why? We had 4 years of a Trump presidency with her, no problem. Nobody friggin' even knew she existed. And then this happens now. I was like, no, friggin' get whatever we can get past. Then quietly in the night, get rid of her then. A few months later. It's been a few months. Get rid of her.
Yeah, you're right.
Need to bust in there, throw her out on her ass.
Rob's like, I'm going to bust in there, slap a fat dick down on that desk and say, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's right. Anybody's got a problem with it, you pull the glove off and give them a smack right across the face.
Mushroom stamp.
We're tired of this shit. It shall not be infringed. Beat it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, you know, as I said, I'm still not happy about the outcome, but as you said, it's better than the kick in the teeth, I guess.
The other problem is there very well could have been a chance to get the House to put it in that way. But Trump, you could say, fucked us just as hard on that then, because he wanted this bill to be signed in on July 4th.
Yeah. So they pushed to get it done.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
So after it finally made it through the Senate, it got shoved to the House, and the House finally just said, fuck it, this works.
Yeah.
I mean, they debated on it for, I think, a day or so, and they're like, all right, good, signed, done.
Yeah, a couple of the representatives tried to get it put back in, but
They did.
It got shot down. You know?
And like I said, I think part of that very well could have been the fact that they were under that deadline. Although, here's the other thing, and this is something people overlook, is the Short Act was never in the original bill out of Congress. It never made it out of committee.
Yeah, true.
So the fact that we even got short-barreled rifles and short-barrel shotguns added in and then voted on and approved by the House after it came back from the Senate was a gift.
Yeah, it was.
Which, again, if they would have added in the registration, would that have been enough for the House to go, you know what? We already said no to this one bill, and the Senate added it, but we're not going whole fucking hog here. Like, there's a lot of stuff here where it's like, did we get fucked or?
Yeah, you got a good point, and it's going to be up for another discussion next week, maybe, because I'm running out of time and I'm hungry.
Out of time? Damn it, Rick!
Yeah. Hey,
you know what the odds are of me being here next week?
The grill is on. I got, I'm wasting gas. I'm wasting propane. Anyway, real quick, I want to get my quiz in. The drawing will be on the 3rd of September, and it was real easy. All you gotta do is Google it. All I wanted to know is name the 4 movies that John Wayne made at the old Tucson Studios. That's it.
Lethal Weapon 1, Lethal Weapon 2, Lethal Weapon 3, Lethal Weapon 4. I win.
But so that's all I want is the 4. How many Westerns did he make? And the names. And that's it. So there you go. Get it into me by Wednesday the 3rd. You're in for it. In for the drawing. And the swag pack's already made. It's sitting here in the envelope. So there you go. Anyway, New York Outcast, you got anything you want to finish with?
Nope. Have a good week, everybody. Thanks for coming by. Get a salad. Stay cool. See you next time.
All right. You got anything, Guns and Barbecue?
Cash is king. Buy a new car. I fucked that up. Just go check out Squibble's channel. It's for everybody.
Yeah, you're right.
Eat a bag of dicks.
All right. I'm glad you guys showed up. Anyway, anybody in the chat, thanks for showing up. I really do appreciate it. And I'll be back here next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. So good night, everybody. Good night,
Sabrina.